Hey, J-Bone Nation! Shaming of Jay. He's not a dopey dumb bitch. He gets laid. The court jester. The court DJ. It's time to dive into the case. To the case.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning on this Wednesday, January 24th. Good morning, Miss Dina on the kick machine. Tanya, Sarah, Janet, Sweet Lou, Doris, Sarah, Elizabeth L. Tanya, did I say Tanya? Amber, good to see you. Catherine, Lisa, Mom and Dad, Sarah, Angel Baby. Carrie 28, Donnie, Jersey Jen. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Good morning. I miss people, I know it. Afy on the kick machine. Good morning, Laura on the kick machine. Thanks everyone for being here. Elizabeth, good morning. Mia, good morning. Bonnie, good morning. Cavajul, good morning. What's your Charlotte? Bonnie, your stickers went out today. Chloe and Sally, CH, Drew P, Afion also on the YouTube machine, Jess, Hot Spice Jess, oh snap, updated for Donnie, look at that, Hot Spice Jess, that's amazing. Hot Spice Jess, good morning. Mandy's here. Good morning. Stacy, good morning. Hot Coffee Chats, good morning. Good morning from Germany, Elky DBE or Elk, I'm not sure. Good morning. Thanks for being here. What's up, Todd? I hope I didn't miss anything. Anyone? That's fair. This is fair, Sarah. This is very fair. Okay. Good morning, Auntie Candy. Good morning, Irene. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We are live, just waiting for court to start. Good morning, Sam I Am. Thanks for being here. I set up the stream for this Saturday at 8 Eastern with Chris Duet, and we also have his emoji now. Thank you for suggesting that, Donnie. Now we have Chris Duet emoji. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, Mermaid Mary B. Hello, Deb. Hello, Dizster. Thanks for being here, everybody. Carrie 28. Mia Beto. Good morning. 2 Mias in the chat. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Appreciate you spending the time with us. Zafiro, good morning. Good morning, Crystal Clear from San Francisco. Got to be early for you. This morning was fun. Sloan cried for about an hour before school just because of not wanting to go to school for no other reason that she should be able to spend more time with her dogs, which is fair. She thinks school is stupid, etc. So that was a funny time. Good morning, Blair on the kick machine. Tracy on the kick machine. Yeah, you're not kidding. You are not kidding, Sarah. Let me tell you something. It was something. What's stupid, Donnie? School is stupid. I can't argue that. Just so much crying. So much crying. 13 years old. Two hunks is right. There you go, Janet. Two hunks. Donnie and Chris. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Kelly. Maria from Arkansas. I wonder if we'll have more witnesses that are just showing videos. I don't know. For those that don't know, we have two 13-year-olds and a 15-year-old. Not twins. Shannon and her daughter came here from Kansas with me and my two sons. And guess what, folks? February 2nd, Groundhog Day, Shannon and I will be married for 6 years. Donnie, why don't you just do the announcement now? No one can wait, Donnie. Let's hear the announcement. Donnie has an announcement. He says 10:30, but can we do it now before court? I can't pause court, Donnie. So I would do it now. Good morning, Lori G. Good morning, Missy. I'm not going to pause it. We have nothing planned. Thank you. Nothing planned. Yes, my mom points out they are all good kids, just typical teens. That is true. And my dad's birthday is the 30th, January 30th, and my brother's is the 31st. A lot of things coming up. And then there's Valentine's Day. That's a good idea. I mean, I was just watching it on AMC. Such a good movie. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button. Please. Get this in the algo. It's the one thing that's a bummer about this chat. It doesn't recognize. That's pretty funny. You see Donnie on the screen. It doesn't recognize the emojis like on the screen. So let's see what's going to happen today. Got to wait for M and J. Are we talking about MJ? So you can't announce it until MJ is here? Is that what you mean, Donnie? MJ is going to be so... Mandy's here already. Ned Ryerson, awesome. Phil Connors? Oh, there's MJ. MJ's here. Montana Mandy Joe is here. All right, Donnie. What's the announcement, Donnie? Hold on, Donnie. I'll get the drum roll for you. Hold on. Actually, I don't know where the drum roll is. Go ahead. Go ahead, Donnie. What's your everyone? Donnie has an announcement. Oh, there it is. Drum roll. I think. Oh, Mia becoming a Super Bowl. Thank you so much, Mia Bido.
I'm gonna bunk with you, buddy. We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be pals. We're gonna wrestle around.
Welcome. Capri Sun's in the chat. Thank you so much. You're too kind, Mia. Thank you so much. Oh, we got movement in court. By the way, folks, there is now a JBN snail emoji in the merch store. You get what I'm saying? A JBN snail sticker in the merch store. JBN snail.
Meow.
A JBN snail sticker in the merch store.
Meow.
I don't know how long it'll last, if it will last, but there's a JBN snail.
Meow.
Good morning, Melissa. Good to see you. There's also a JBN sticker now in there. Last time it didn't last long in the merch store. It did not last long last time. It's a little different. I hope it works, but I don't know.
Meow.
I didn't read. Donnie, you said something? Hold on. Where is Donnie's announcement? Donnie, I don't see your announcement, Donnie. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Kimberly. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Good morning, Ladybird. Good morning, Christine. Thanks for being here, everybody, on this Wednesday. Oh, my Lanta. All right, Donnie, don't announce that again. I've just been announced what the I've just been told what the announcement was. Don't do that again, Donnie. Donnie, don't type that again, Donnie. Good morning, Dane Mama. Oh my God. Thank you, mods. Janique, good morning, Janique. Good morning, good to see you. Thank you, mods. Yes, Donnie, it's bad. Don't say it again, please. You're gonna get my channel banned. Let's just say, if you want to know, I mean, there's a lot of people waiting for the announcement. Donnie let us all know that how did Charlotte put this yesterday? Donnie just told us about things he thinks about while he's guiding himself, and it has to do with other people. It's bad. No one wants. No one should see it. Just let's. The two people he was referring to, I can't even. All right. Good morning, Drenda. We're just waiting here for live court, folks. There it is. The announcement was Donnie printed out his emoji and gave it to Karen as a present.
District of Stanford at Stanford for the transaction of criminal business is now open in session.
Here we
Honorable Desmond, after that, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning,
Court is loud AF today.
We are
The mic's at like
From
1,000.
the court, on a scheduling matter, I do have Matt Riley here today, and I believe that is all that I was able to get for today's testimony at this point. Because of that, Your Honor, I anticipate us ending early whenever Detective Riley is finished.
Judge, good morning.
I can do that.
I don't have a motion.
Good morning,
Your Honor,
Rebecca.
good morning. I did just want to address a motion limine that was filed by the defense very briefly, as it's going to be implicated in the next witness. You'll recall, Judge, that the defense filed a motion limine to prevent the, quote, pejorative use of the term alibi script with respect to certain evidence that was found at 4 Jefferson Crossing on June 2nd, 2019, when the police officers executed the search warrant. You'll also recall, Judge, that this was the subject of a motion to suppress, so I know the court is very familiar with the facts. I did just want to indicate for the court that the state is not intending on referring to these objects as alibi scripts during the evidentiary portion of the trial. They're going to be referred to as timelines. However, obviously, we just want to let the court know, closing argument, that's a whole separate issue. And we're going to be asking the jury to draw reasonable inferences from the evidence, including that it was a script. So I just want to indicate to the court that we are in agreement for the evidentiary portion not to refer to them as that because it's argumentative.
I don't think I need to respond at this time. Whenever the evidence comes out, then whether or not that's appropriate or an inappropriate characterization will be, at that point, pretty clear.
So the court wants to be clear. Attorney McGinnis, have you instructed your witnesses not to use the term alibi script?
Attorney Manning has done so.
Detective Riley is my witness, Your Honor. I have instructed him this morning that we will be referring to the documents as timelines. I did instruct him to indicate that as well. And we will continue to instruct all of our witnesses that that is what they will be called.
Thank you. We can bring the jury in. Thank you.
We're bringing in the jury.
You will bring the jury.
Yeah, MJ asked about the FOIA request. First of all, I got to thank Amber, who sent in like a website where you could do it, and I got to thank the Dizster, who submitted the request, and I believe FOFA helped her. So thank you all for helping with the FOIA request. We're trying to get some calls from Grandma Gotti, so we shall see, folks. Thank you all so much for helping. Amber, Dizzy, FOFA.
Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. The state continues with another witness this morning. The state has informed the court that we will probably end early today. The court does not know at what time.
Ledger. No school today?
Thank you, Your Honor. If Detective Riley can reclaim the stand.
Thank you. Detective Riley, you are still under oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Your Honor, so in Detective Riley, his full name.
Yes, it's Matthew Riley.
Oh, God, this guy's back.
R-E-I-L-L-Y.
This guy hates being there. He is not like Smiley yesterday.
Thank you, Your Honor. Detective Riley, draw your attention back to 2019. Did you work on the Western District Major Crimes Ban during that time period?
Yes.
And you were just here probably last week sometime and testified concerning some steps you took on May 25th and May 27th of 2019. Is that right?
Yes.
Has anything changed since then with respect to your background or training and experience since May 25th or May well, since you testified about May 25th and May 27th?
No, ma'am.
And could you briefly just remind the jury a little bit about your training and experience and career with the Connecticut State Police?
Yes, I retired from the Connecticut State Police after over 23 years of service. 20 years of my service was spent as a detective. 14 years was spent as a crime scene investigator. And during that time, I attended numerous training classes and seminars on death investigation, crime scene processing, and evidence processing.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to draw your attention to 2019.
We couldn't see.
That's fine. Thank you.
Hey, Patty C. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here.
With respect to late May, early June of 2019, did you have occasion to conduct searches of motor vehicles owned by Fotis Doulos?
Yes, ma'am.
Specifically a Ford Raptor. Did you conduct a search, or were you part of a process of conducting a search of the Ford Raptor?
Yes, I was.
What day did you conduct that search?
May 31st, 2019,
Where were you located?
at Troop L in Litchfield.
Now, on May 31st of 2019, were you aware of the items that had been taken out of the garbage cans along Albany Avenue in Hartford?
Yes.
And what was taken out of the garbage cans?
To my recollection, it was items contained in black plastic garbage bags, zip ties, clothing, and a mop, all with blood-like stains.
Now, on May 31st, where were you located when you conducted the search of the Ford Raptor?
We were in the district garage at Troop L in Litchfield.
Who was with you?
We were being supervised by Sergeant Joe Duva. Also, there was Detective Frank McGavin, Detective Jamie Pearston, Detective Katie Keppel, and Detective Bob Hazen.
Was a search warrant obtained to search that vehicle?
Yes.
What items were you looking for?
We were looking for items related to the disappearance of Jennifer Doulos.
Now, with respect to a search of a vehicle, is there a certain process or procedure that you utilized in searching the Ford Raptor?
Yes, just like a residence, we'll start with overall photography, and then we'll work generally from the outside of the vehicle in, doing various searches and processing procedures.
Did you wear protective gear during the search?
Yes.
What did you wear?
Gloves, and for DNA sampling, I also wore a mask.
Could you describe the vehicle, please?
Yes, it was a black Ford pickup. It was had a I guess it would be called a king cab. Had a full rear passenger compartment.
In the course of conducting a search, were photographs taken?
Yes.
Did you take those photographs?
No, I did not.
Who was assigned to take the photography?
I believe it was Detective Keppel.
Were you present during those photographs were taken?
Yes.
States 71. Sir, I'm going to have you take a look at the screen in front of you. May I inquire, is it on? Is it?
It's on. Thank you.
And for the record, the screen to the jury is off. I'm going to show you a series of photographs, sir. If you can take a minute, this would be on file marking Ford Raptor. Sir, this is picture 1. Do you recognize this?
Oh, snap. Tina coming in hot, gifting a membership, and Fuki 420 Mama gets it. Tina, thank you so much as always.
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is the front end of the Ford Raptor as we found it in the garage at Troop L Litchfield.
Actually, is that a fair and accurate representation of what the front end of the Ford Raptor looked like that day?
Yes.
I'm actually going to have you take a look at the next couple of pictures if you can. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yes, those are overall views of the four sides of the Ford Raptor.
And again, were you present during the time when these images were taken?
Yes,
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the Ford Raptor looked like that day?
yes.
The state would move into evidence 1 through 4.
No objection.
Thank you.
And again, for the record, that was May, what was the date that it was taken?
The 31st, sir.
Photos were taken on the 31st?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is there a file number?
This is a file, it's a file labeled Ford Raptor, Your Honor, and there are numerous files on the disk. So the file Ford Raptor photographs 1 through 4. And if I may, I'm just going to go through all the photographs here to move them into evidence and then to try and speed the process along, if I may.
So, concerning the file titled Ford Raptor, photos 1 through 4 admitted.
Oh, I see. While I was going to let the dogs in because they decided to go outside even though they knew it was raining, Janet gifted out a membership to Sam I Am. Amazing. Thank you so much, Janet. Welcome, Sam I Am. Check out your new emojis.
As full exhibits.
Yeah.
Good morning, Kim.
Thank
Hello,
you.
Spring.
Sir, if you can, picture 5.
That is the bed of the Ford Raptor pickup truck.
Picture 6.
Again, a photograph of the bed with the tailgate lowered.
And with respect to the bed of the Ford pickup truck, were you present during picture 5 and 6?
Yes,
And that was at the headquarters of Litchfield?
yes,
And do picture 5 and 6 fairly and accurately reflect what the bed of the Ford pickup looked like that day?
yes.
Thank you. State would move 5 and 6.
Is there an objection?
No.
The file Ford Raptor photos 5 and 6 admitted as full.
Thank you. Sir, I'm going to show you the next series of photographs, 7. You can take a look at it, please. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What are those photographs of?
These are photographs of the inside of the vehicle. The first 3 are overall photographs. As we began processing, the last photograph was during the evidence collection portion of processing.
With respect to the first 3 that were taken prior to starting processing, were you present during those photographs?
Yes,
And do they fairly and accurately represent what you saw that day?
yes,
And with respect to the 4th one, which would be picture 10, were you present for that photograph to be taken?
yes,
And during the course of the processing matter, does this photograph fairly and accurately portray what it looked like that day on May 31st?
yes, it does.
Okay, state would move, Your Honor, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Objection?
Can I just see 10 again, please?
And for the record, Your Honor, the state provided counsel with copies as
Right.
well as a still shots of these on paper format.
No objection.
Thank you. State would move.
File Ford Raptor photos 7, 8, 9, and 10 admitted as full exhibit.
Thank you, sir. Detective Riley, if you can take a look at 11, 12, 13, and 14. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What are they?
This was taken during our inventory process. Basically, we lay out sheets of paper, section them off as to the different areas of the vehicle, and then empty the contents onto them. Then we photograph them and make notes as to what was actually inside the vehicle.
Were you part of the process of the inventory?
Yes,
Were you present at the photographs when the photographs were taken?
yes, I was.
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the inventory of the Ford Raptor was at that time on May 31st, 2019?
Yes,
State would offer, Your Honor, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Is there an objection?
Just a moment, Your Honor. just to clarify, when you say there was an inventory from the vehicle, right? Everything was taken out of the vehicle in these pictures that you were just shown?
Yes.
No objection.
File Ford Raptor, photos 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 admitted as full exhibits.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to show you 16, 17, 18, and 19. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What are they photographs of?
These are photographs of the Ford Raptor as it sat in our impound lot at Troop L in Litchfield. And they were taken on July the 5th, 2019. When we went back inside the vehicle to obtain other items of evidence.
Was that pursuant to a search warrant as well?
Yes, it was.
And I'm sorry, what date was that?
July the 5th.
What were you looking for on July the 5th?
Specifically, we were looking for an Adidas brand ball cap and a pair of black and yellow gloves.
Photos 19 and 18, sir, do you recognize those photographs?
Yes.
What are they?
They are the ball cap and gloves that we seized out of the vehicle.
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the ball cap and gloves look like that day?
Yes.
After you seized them from the vehicle, what did you do with them?
I packaged them in paper, labeled them, and secured them in major crime evidence.
With respect to photograph 18 and 19, if you could take a look at that in front of you, please. There's writing on the bottom. Did you write that?
Yes, I did.
When did you take these photographs?
No, I did not.
Who took these photographs?
Detective Pearson took these photographs.
At what point in the process were these photographs taken?
These were taken after the items had been removed from the pickup truck and before they were packaged, sealed, and labeled.
And were you present during this photograph, while this photograph was taken? So do these two photographs fairly and accurately represent the hat as well as the gloves at that point when it had been removed from the vehicle prior to being placed into processing?
Yes.
Why were these photographs taken?
They're identification photographs. They further document the evidence that we seized.
Thank you. And photograph 17, what does that depict of?
That is the inside of the rear passenger compartment of the Ford Raptor on July the 5th.
Does that fairly and accurately represent what the inside of the Ford Raptor looked like on July 5th, 2019?
Yes.
State would move, Your Honor, 16, 17, 18, and 19.
Already 100
I'm
likes.
here on a couple of these.
Thank you, guys.
Be shown 16, please. Now, there are, looking at this particular photograph, there are several vehicles in this shot, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And the only one that we're talking about now
I'm speeding up this dope on his voir dire.
is partially obscured by two other vehicles, correct?
Yes.
So this picture does not depict the way the vehicle looked when it was taken from the residence of 4 Jefferson Crossing, does it?
No, this just depicts the vehicle as we found it on July the 5th.
Well, it wasn't, when you found it, it wasn't surrounded by these other vehicles, was
I'm
it?
going to object, Your Honor. This is going beyond voir dire with respect to this photograph.
Well, I'm objecting to the one photograph, Your Honor, because it obviously involves other matters that have yet to be testified about. So,
Well, the
If I may.
testimony from the witness is that the photograph of the pickup truck is a photograph that accurately depicts what it looked like on July 5th, if the court understands what the testimony is.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no reference to any other vehicle other than the Ford Raptor in the question posed by the state. So if there's an objection, it's overruled.
well, my objection is relevance. How it looked in a parking lot on July 5th is remote in terms of the timing.
Overruled.
Your Honor, that's the entirety of file 4 Ford Raptor on State 71. If I may.
Are you moving into evidence photos 16, 17, 18, and 19?
I did, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I apologize. I thought Your Honor had ruled. But yes, 16, 17, and 18, and 19, I would move into evidence.
Admitted as full.
Thank you. Sir, if you could take a look behind you on the screen. If you can, please. This is States 1 off of file Ford Raptor. If you could, what is depicted on that screen, please?
Yes, this is a photo of the front end of the Ford Raptor as it was in our garage at Troop L in Litchfield.
What day?
This is on May the 31st, 2019.
Is that the vehicle you searched on May 31st, 2019?
Yes.
Picture 2?
That is the left side or driver's side of the Ford Raptor as it sat in the garage.
Picture 3?
That is the passenger side or right side of the Ford Raptor.
And picture 4, sir.
And that is the rear of the Ford Raptor.
In conducting a search, did you take any evidentiary samples or take any action with the outside of the vehicle?
Yes, I did.
What did you do?
I swabbed the door handles and the tailgate latch for latent DNA.
When you say swab, can you briefly explain what you mean by that, please?
Yes, so we take 2 of those long handle Q-tips, we moisten them with sterile water, and then we rub them on the surface we want to sample. We then cap them, put them in a box, and then package them in an envelope, seal and label it.
What areas did you swab on the outside of the truck?
On the outside of the truck, I swabbed the exterior door handles and the tailgate latch.
I'm going to show you 5 and 6. Sir, did you take any action with respect to the, trunk of the Ford Raptor?
Yes, during processing, we examined this area for any trace or latent evidence. And then we sprayed a luminol solution in the bed of the truck in an effort to find any latent blood-like material.
And with respect to the, did you say the luminol solution?
Yes.
If you briefly, again, can just explain what that means.
So the luminol solution is a search tool that we use to look for latent blood-like stains. So we get the prepackaged material from a forensic supply house. Comes with a bottle of
Again,
solution.
I'm going to object, Your Honor. This was the subject of a separate motion regarding luminol and what he's explaining about it and what it does, and he's not an expert. We did have some testimony about that, and I object from a layperson explaining it.
Well, as the court hears the testimony, the description of what luminol is not responsive to the state's question, so the court will strike that portion of the testimony. How he uses the substance is responsive to the state's testimony.
Thank
The
you.
discussion of the chemistry of the substance itself was not responsive to the state's question.
Sir, I'll just ask it simply. How did you use luminol that day on May 31st, 2019?
I mixed up a bottle of the solution, tested it on a known blood source, and then sprayed it in the bed of the truck.
Why would you test it on a known blood source?
To confirm the reaction, or that luminescent glow.
By the way, is luminol a presumptive test?
Again, Your Honor, this witness would not have any idea other than what hearsay. There's already been testimony about it is not, it has no scientific value. So I object to this witness talking about it. We heard from Ms. Medell about it. And so having him explain that is already getting into the science of it.
Well, there is no indication from the question that this witness is trying to explain the science. The witness is explaining what the test is used for by the state police. Overruled.
You can answer, sir.
We use it as a search tool to look for latent evidence, and then we will perform additional presumptive tests on areas with a positive luminol reaction.
Did you perform any further tests on the trunk area of the Ford Raptor?
Yes.
What areas did you perform that test on?
Well, once the luminol was sprayed, several areas luminesced. We further tested those with Castlemeyer reagents and obtained negative results. So we took no further action.
And briefly, the Castlemeyer test again, the KM.
That is a presumptive blood test that we use.
Right. And in this case, it came back negative for those spots. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you. Sir, if I can, behind you, take a look at picture 7. Did you take any action with respect to the door?
Yes, this door during processing was also sprayed with luminol solution.
Did you utilize the same process that you testified to just recently?
Yes.
Did you get a result?
Yes, there was a positive result.
In what area?
Again, Your Honor, I'm just going to ask the court to note my objection to this. I thought
It's
this was
been
the
noted,
movie issue
dude.
that we
Shut
had,
up. Oh, my
discussed,
Lanta,
but-
shut your face. Shut the fuck up.
Are you offering essentially a running objection on the use of the luminol?
Not the use as much as what he's interpreting it to mean.
Thank you.
In light of all the other things that can be produce a quote positive result.
Thank you. Overruled.
What area did you utilize the luminol with?
Yeah, it was we obtained a positive result in the area of the armrest below the door handle.
Did you take any steps after you received that result?
Yes, we tested the area with the Castlemeyer presumptive test. That came back negative.
And
Well, in that case, Your Honor, I move to strike the testimony as irrelevant if it can't. The suggestion that it glowed and therefore he used other tests and comes back negative would mean that it has no relevance to this case. So I move to strike that testimony.
Well, the court would not know whether it has relevance to any other testimony that may be heard at a later date or a later time. There's no prejudice to your client, as the court understands it. There's no unfair prejudice through this testimony overruled.
picture 8, sir, did you take any action with respect to what is depicted in that photograph?
Yes, at the beginning of processing, I swabbed the steering wheel for latent DNA bearing material.
And picture 9, sir.
It's the center of, or that's a photograph of the dashboard of the Ford Raptor.
Picture 10, sir.
That is the area I spoke about before. There was an area of interest after processing the inside of the door with luminol. That area tested negative when tested with the Castlemeyer reagents. However, we took a sample of the area for evidentiary purposes to find out what exactly that substance was.
And does this photograph document the place of that sample?
Yes.
Did you give it an exhibit number?
I did. It was exhibit 134.
Thank you. Photograph 11.
This was taken during the inventory procedure.
With respect to the inventory procedure, sir, was any item seized for evidentiary value with respect to the inventory?
Not on the 31st.
Now, what was taken out of the vehicle? Was the, well, I'll rephrase that, that's a bad question. Sir, do you see the screen on picture 11? There's the mat.
Yes.
What would you call that?
I would describe that as a WeatherTech floor liner. And then adjacent to that is, it looks like a factory floor mat from a Ford F-150.
And picture 12, do you see the gloves in the center of the photograph, sir?
Yes.
Were those taken out of the vehicle?
They were during the inventory process.
Where were they found in the vehicle?
They were under the left front seat, or the driver's seat.
Did you seize them on this day, May 31st?
No, I did not.
And picture 13, what does this contain, sir?
That is the contents, other contents of the vehicle.
And 14 as well?
Same.
Now, you indicated that you, actually, I think I have one more, 15. Is that another WeatherTech liner?
Yes, from the right front floor.
Now, you indicated that the vehicle had been searched again on another date. What day was that?
That was July the 5th, 2019.
Where was the vehicle located on July 5th, 2019?
That was in the impound lot at Troconis and Litchfield.
After it left the headquarters, or what do you call that, the garage?
Yes, the garage. It's approximately 100 feet away from the impound lot.
How did it get from the garage to the impound lot?
I believe we drove it.
Is the impound lot contained within the Troop L headquarters?
Yes, it's on the property.
And sir, picture 16, is that where the vehicle was parked on the day, I'm sorry, did you say July 5th?
July 5th, correct.
July 5th. Was that where the vehicle was parked?
Yes.
And is that what it looked like prior to conducting that second search?
Yes.
Did you obtain a search warrant for that?
I did not, but other members of the Western District Major Crime Squad did.
What were you searching for that day?
Specifically, we were going to seize an Adidas ball cap and those black and yellow gloves.
How would you conduct a search when you were searching solely for those two items?
We would take overall photographs. We would go in and seize the items and then take further identification photographs prior to final packaging.
Did you wear protective gear?
We wore gloves.
Who were you with on that day?
Detective Pierston and maybe another member of the Major Crime Squad.
Did you move the car did you move the car that day to get into the car and search it?
I don't believe so.
Picture 17, sir. Are the gloves shown inside that vehicle?
Yes, they're visible on the left rear floorboard.
By the way, after you had done the search and pulled them out on May 31st and taken, I guess it is 12.
Penny says
This photograph. What did you do with the gloves after that?
We put them back inside the passenger compartment of the truck.
Because on May 31st, they weren't seized as evidence. Is that right?
Correct.
So if you wouldn't mind standing up to, Your Honor, if it's okay, if you can stand up on the screen and point to where the gloves are in this photograph.
The gloves are right there.
And the hat?
The hat is right here on the center bench seat.
And where were they originally? I'm sorry, on May 31st.
The hat was in the same general location. However, the gloves were underneath the driver's seat.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. And picture 18.
That is a photograph of the hat.
Was it seized as an exhibit?
Yes,
And is it exhibit 328 that's written on the paper?
it is. I wrote that number.
Okay. And picture 19.
And those are a photograph of the gloves
Was it also seized as an exhibit?
as exhibit 329.
Okay, thank you. On July 5th, did you take any other action with respect to the Ford Raptor?
Excuse me, on what date, ma'am?
July 5th.
No.
Now, with respect to, did you have an opportunity to conduct a search of a Jeep Cherokee owned by Fotis Doulos?
Yes.
When did you do that?
We did that on June the 6th of 2019.
the screen to the jury is off, so I'm going to have you take a look at the pictures in front of you on your screen. This would be under the state's 71 file Jeep Cherokee. Sir, if you can, I'm going to show you photographs 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What do they depict?
Those are overall photos of the Jeep Cherokee as we found it in our garage prior to processing.
What day was this?
Again, this was June 6, 2019.
And the location?
This is another garage at Troop L Litchfield.
Did you have a search warrant to search that vehicle?
Yes.
What were you searching for?
We were searching for evidence related to the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos.
Who was with you on that day?
Detective Combs, Detective Downs, Sergeant Duva, and there's probably a couple other members of the major crime squad who were present as well.
What was your assignment for that day?
I was the evidence officer for this processing.
And were you the evidence officer for the investigation as a whole?
Pretty much the entire case, ma'am.
Sir, with respect to photographs 1, 2, 3, 4, do you recognize all those photographs?
Yes.
Were you present when those photographs were taken?
Yes, I was.
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the Jeep Cherokee looked like in the Troop L garage on June 6th, the day you processed that item?
Yes.
The state would move 1, 2, 3, and 4, Your Honor. I would make that offer.
No objection.
Is the file Jeep Cherokee?
Yes, sir.
A file Jeep Cherokee, photos 1, 2, 3, and 4 admitted as full.
Sir, if you can, take a look in front of you. Picture 5, 6, 7, and 8. Do you recognize what's depicted on those photographs?
Yes.
What is depicted in the photograph?
That's the interior passenger compartment of the Jeep Cherokee.
Were those photographs taken on June 6th in Troop L at the garage on 2019?
Yes.
Were you present?
Yes.
Do they fairly and accurately represent the inside of the Jeep Cherokee that day?
They do.
State would offer, Your Honor, 17. I'm sorry. It would be 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No objection.
File Jeep Cherokee, photos 5, 6, 7, and 8 admitted as full.
Sir, if you can, take a look at 9 and 10. What do those pictures depict?
That's the rear cargo area of the Jeep Cherokee.
Was that photograph taken on June 6, 2019?
Yes, it was.
Were you present for that photograph?
Yes.
Does that fairly and accurately represent what the rear area of the Jeep Cherokee looked like?
Yes, it does.
The state would move 9 and 10, Your Honor.
May I have blood here?
Yes.
Was anything that's shown in either 9 or 10 taken as evidence for evidentiary purposes?
I would object, Your Honor. This is voir dire on the photograph.
If
That's
it's-
cross-examination.
It's exactly the point. If it's not relevant, it's not relevant. We're going to have 1,000 pictures if they're just showing that at some point the car had stuff in it that is not relevant, then I'm going to make an irrelevancy objection. That's the purpose of my voir dire.
Well, there's a fairly, in this court's mind, clear line between voir dire and cross-examination. Voir dire concerns whether what was depicted in the exhibit is as it was on the day the photo was taken. Cross-examination involves others than that. So the court is not going to allow that question on voir dire, but you can continue to voir dire.
What day were these pictures taken? These two that we're talking about, 9 and 10, the rear compartment of the Jeep?
These were taken on June 5th.
June 5th, and these were taken
June 6th. I'm getting my dates mixed up.
June 6th.
Yes.
And this is when you were looking at it, did you take these pictures?
I did not.
Were you present when the pictures were taken?
Yes.
Again, I'll just object on relevance at this point. What was in that Jeep on June 6th, unless it's tied into something, I would say is irrelevant.
If I may just be heard, because this is, I think, the third time this morning that we've heard an objection based on relevance to a photograph, Your Honor. All of this goes to the police investigation, the thoroughness of the investigation, and what was done the day that these vehicles were processed and seized. There is an inventory was done. We're going to go into that with respect to the steps this officer took. Photographs depicting their process is completely relevant, and I would ask that it be admissible at this time.
Let me just respond to that. The only thing that is relevant, as I understand the rules, is what's relevant to the case against Michelle Troconis. So the fact that the Ford Group owned stuff that's not relevant to the case does not become relevant because somebody inventoried maybe 100 vehicles. That doesn't make it relevant to this case, and therefore it's just confusing to have the jury look at something and then realize this has nothing to do with the case.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but the Jeep Cherokee is very relevant to this case, as the court and the jury will find to be. Also, the items contained in these photographs, the jury's and the fact finder is their job to make any reasonable inference based on the evidence that they present and they see. So it is extremely relevant in the state's view, as well as the adequacy of the police investigation, which I'm sure counsel will get into.
Well, the code clearly defines what relevance means. Relevant evidence is evidence that has any tendency to make a fact that is material to the determination of the issue more likely or less likely than it would be without the evidence. Any tendency to make a material fact more likely or less likely. It is clear that at the time the offer is made, it may not be clear what the materiality of that evidence is. But that does not preclude the evidence from coming in just because at the time the offer is made, the full dimension of materiality is known. So overruled.
State would offer 9 and 10 into evidence, Your Honor. This is 10, this is 9.
File Jeep Cherokee photos 9 and 10 admitted as full exhibits.
Thank you. Detective Riley, if you could take a look in the screen in front of you. Did you conduct an inventory search of this vehicle as well?
I assisted, yes.
Were you present when the inventory search was done?
Yes.
What is an inventory search?
Basically, towards the conclusion of processing, we'll empty the vehicle contents onto sheets of paper and document them both on a vehicle inventory form and with photographs.
Now, with respect to the Ford Raptor, after you had done the inventory search and documented those items, particularly the gloves and the hat, what led you to go back to seize those items?
The case investigators, the case officers down at Troop Chief Bridgeport reviewed our photographs and noted that these were items of evidentiary value. So they obtained another search warrant and asked us to go in and seize those items.
Is that one of the purposes of an inventory search?
Yes.
Okay. What is another purpose of an inventory search?
It's to document what was in the vehicle. It's done to document if there were any valuables in the vehicle, along with any other items of potential interest in the future.
So I'm going to have you take a look at 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Sir, do you recognize these photographs?
Yes.
What are they?
These are photographs of the vehicle contents laid out during the inventory.
Were you present when these photographs were taken?
Yes.
Do they all fairly and accurately represent what those items look like on the day of the inventory on June 6th at Troop L in Litchfield?
Yes.
State would offer, Your Honor, 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11.
Same objection, Your Honor, especially with regard to the pink umbrella and what looks like a sandwich. So, again, same objection.
Overruled. File Jeep Cherokee.
I will smash your face
11, 12,
into a
13,
jelly!
14, and 15 admitted as false.
Thank you, Your Honor. That is the entire contents of the Jeep Cherokee, if I may. Sir, if you can
You saying you want a piece of me?
Picture 1, sir. What is that depicted on that screen?
This is an overall view of the front of the Jeep Cherokee as we found it in our garage at Troop L
On what day?
on June the 6th, 2019.
Thank you. And with respect to picture 2,
Again, that is the left side or driver's side of the Jeep Cherokee.
picture 3,
The rear end of the Jeep Cherokee,
and picture 4.
and the right side or passenger side of the Jeep Cherokee.
Now, when you conducted a search of the Jeep Cherokee on June 6th, what were some items that you were looking for?
Yeah, we were looking for anything related to the disappearance of Jennifer Dulos.
And again, on June 6th, you had actually been at 69 Wells Lane on May 25th and 27th and examined the scene there. Are you correct?
Yes.
Okay. What day did you search? You also searched a Chevy Suburban owned by Jennifer Farber Dulos. I think it's a 2017. What day was that?
Excuse me. Can you-
What day did you search or process a 2017 Chevy Suburban?
We processed Jennifer Dulos' Suburban on the 28th of May.
And with respect to a Range Rover?
The Range Rover we did at the scene on the 27th.
And the Ford Raptor, what day was the Ford Raptor?
That was on the 31st of May.
So this would be the 6th of June, is that correct?
Correct.
Picture 5, sir, what is that?
That's the interior side of the driver's door.
Now, did you take any swabbings or take anything as an exhibit with respect to the interior of the vehicle?
I don't recall doing that, ma'am. We didn't seize anything from the vehicle.
With respect to the outside of the vehicle, did you take any swabbings or seize anything as an exhibit?
No.
Did you document the vehicle in the state you have found it in?
Yes.
Picture 6, what is that?
That's a photo of the inside of the front passenger compartment that was taken at the, it appears to be the completion of processing.
And 7?
Photo of the steering wheel and dashboard of the Jeep.
And 8.
Again, the front passenger compartment of the Jeep Cherokee.
Now, did you go through the trunk in the cargo area?
Yes.
Picture 9, sir, is that what the cargo area looked like on June 6, 2019?
Yes.
Did you seize any of those items contained in that photograph as evidence?
No.
And 10?
Again, it's a medium or close-up view of the contents of the rear cargo area.
What were some of the contents of the rear cargo area?
It was construction equipment or contractor's tools, package of paper towels.
Go to 11. Sir, what is this?
Again, that's the contents of the rear cargo area laid out during the inventory.
Everything was removed?
Yes.
What about the interior of the car? Not just the cargo area. Was everything removed from that as well?
Yes, those items can be seen in the background.
Do you mean the one closer to the top of the photograph?
Correct.
Okay, and the one closer to the bottom of the photograph, where is that from?
That's from the rear cargo area, as it's noted on the paper.
Picture 12?
That's the contents of the glove box.
Picture 13?
Items from the driver's side door, left front door, and the center console.
And picture 14?
And that's from the rear of the vehicle.
Picture 15?
Items, again, from the glove compartment and the right front floor and right front seat.
Now, sir, did you also process a Chevy Suburban, a 2015 Chevy Suburban owned by Curtis Doulos?
Yes,
What day did you process that?
on May 31st, 2019.
Was that the same day as a Ford Raptor?
Yes.
Where were you located when you processed that?
Again, we were in the garage at State Police Troop L. Litchfield.
Did you have a search warrant?
Yes, we did.
Who were you with?
And we were being supervised by Sergeant Joe Duva. Detective Pearson was there, Detective Hazen, Detective McGavin. There might have been other members of major crime there as well.
What was your assignment for that day?
I was the evidence officer.
Now, with respect to your search, did you wear protective gear in the course of it?
Yes.
I'm going to show you, please. Take a look at the screen in front of you. For the record, the screen to the jury is dark. And the file marked Chevy Suburban, so I'm going to show you a series of photographs if you can take a look. This would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you recognize what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What is depicted in the photograph?
Those are all overall views of the exterior of the 2015 Chevy Suburban.
Is that what it looked like on May 31st, 2019 at the Troop L garage?
Yes.
Were you present for those photographs?
Yes, I was.
And did they fairly and accurately represent what the vehicle looked like that day that you conducted the search of the car?
Yes.
State would move 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No objection.
And is the file Chevy Suburban,
It is, Your Honor.
2015?
No objection.
just says Chevy
Everyone
Suburban,
play
but
the
it's
lottery.
contained
This
within
man
State
just said no
71.
objection.
Thank you.
Today's our lucky
File
day.
Chevy Suburban, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is photos 1, 2, 3, and 4 admitted as full.
Thank you, sir. If you can, take a look at the screen in front of you as well. I'm going to show you 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, with respect to 5, 6, and 7, sir, what do those depict?
Those depict the interior compartment of the Chevy Suburban.
Is that the interior compartment of the Chevy Suburban on May 31st, 2019 at the Troop L garage prior to you conducting your search?
Some of these photos may have been taken during processing.
Okay, well, if we can walk through them then. 5, what is that?
That appears to be an overall view of the front passenger compartment taken through the driver's side door.
Was that photograph, were you present when the photograph was taken?
Yes.
Was that photograph taken prior to starting the search or during it?
That was at the beginning of processing, so prior to actually searching the vehicle.
Does that fairly and accurately represent what the front driver's seat looks like on May 31st, 2019 at Troop L?
Yes.
State would offer 5.
Just 5?
I am walking through them, Your Honor, because he said they were at various times in the processing. I just want to make sure the
Is there an
record's clear.
objection?
No.
File Chevy Suburban, photo 5 admitted as full.
Thank you. Sir, 6.
This is a photo of the compartment which was under the floor of the rear cargo area.
Was that photo, were you present when this photograph was taken?
Yes.
Was it taken, well, at what stage in the processing of the vehicle was this photograph taken?
This is either an overall taken prior to the search or during the search.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately represent what the compartment under the rear cargo area looked like on May 31st, 2019 at Troop L?
Yes.
State would offer 6.
Object on relevance.
Thank you. File Chevy Suburban, photo 6, admitted as full.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to show you file 7. What is represented in that photograph?
This is the rear cargo area of the Chevy Suburban.
Now, with respect to the compartment, that is the compartment up or down?
So the compartment in the previous photograph would be underneath this floor.
And with respect to the floor, sir, is that what is contained on that floor?
That is a WeatherTech floor liner.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately represent what the Chevy Suburban 2015 looked like, cargo area on May 31st, 2019?
Yes.
State would offer it, Your Honor.
Quick, what, dear?
Yes.
This floor liner you referred to as WeatherTech, that's the actual brand name on it, right?
Correct.
And it's and so I understand if we're looking at this picture, it shows it as it was in the vehicle fitting into the cargo area of that Suburban, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to object.
And which number is this?
7, Your Honor.
Thank you. File Chevy Suburban, photo 7, admitted as full.
Sir, I'm going to show you what's been marked as picture 8. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is depicted in that photograph?
This depicts the rear cargo area of the Chevy Suburban after we had applied the luminol solution.
And were you present during that?
Yes.
Were you present during this photograph?
Yes.
Does it fairly and accurately represent what the trunk looked like after you applied the luminol solution?
Yes.
State would offer 8, sorry.
Once again, Your Honor, here we are dealing with luminol. I mean, the state is not going to be able to tie this up to anything, and so I object to the use of anything that relates. I think we had this conversation about a different vehicle, but again, luminol has no evidentiary value, and therefore the picture has no value, and it's just confusing to the jury to even have it. It will not lead to anything down the road. I'll just indicate to the court.
What it does lead to is the thoroughness of the state police investigation, Your Honor, and how they process each of the vehicles, each of the scene at exactly the same way, conducting the same analysis, and goes to their adequacy of their investigation, which I know counsel are going to be crossing on. The jury should be aware of the fact that the state police left no stone unturned in this case, and that is a factor that should be allowed to be presented in the course of what Detective Riley did when he processed these vehicles.
Well, before you proceed, to argue that the state police left no stone unturned sounds more like closing argument. That's not an objection. Of course, it's going to be traditional for the defense counsel to attempt to show that the state police did not leave or did leave some matters unattended to. That's traditional for defense counsel. Based on what the court sees here, there is, well, the application of luminol. The court does not know, other than anticipating the defense's attack on the thoroughness of the investigation, how this will come in, but the court is not going to preclude it just because at this point any other reason other than thoroughness of the investigation is not apparent to the court. The court is not presenting the state's case. The state is presenting the state's case. So the objection is overruled.
That would be, I believe, picture 8 and state 71, file marked Chevy Suburban. So I'm going to have you take a look at pictures 9, 10, and 11. With respect to 9, 10, and 11, do you recognize what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes.
What is depicted in those photographs?
These are the contents of the Chevy Suburban taken during the inventory.
Were you present during the inventory search?
Yes.
Were you present when these photographs were taken?
Yes.
Do they fairly and accurately represent the contents of the 2015 Chevy Suburban on May 31st, 2019?
They do.
The state would offer, Your Honor, 11, actually, I think it comes down to 9, 10, and 11.
Once again, Your Honor, and I just want to clarify something. I am not claiming that the state didn't do a thorough investigation. Our only claim is they did a biased investigation, but to put in everything they did that didn't lead to anything makes it irrelevant. They could have maybe talked to 1,000 people and only 4 had something to do with the case. That doesn't mean the state gets to put in testimony from the 996 people that didn't have any information or didn't provide evidence for their use. That's why I'm objecting.
I'm finished with this guy.
We're going to have 1,000 exhibits. 99% are going to have nothing to do with the case. That's my concern.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up.
Well, the court would not know
Lock it up.
whether 99% of the exhibits would have nothing.
Well, I made that up. I apologize. The percentage.
Well, of course, the state is not going to, as the aphorism goes, show its hand. The defense is not going to show its hand. It sounds like the cliches that we hear in the sports world. Well, what are you going to do today? I'm going to play defense and we're going to execute. That can mean anything. And so for the court to even determine whether something is relevant at this point, just based on the offer, is an exercise in divination. Because the court is certain that if there is a stone unturned, that will be attacked by the defendant. So overruled. Now, the time is now 11:18. Take our morning recess until, let's take the morning recess until 11:35.
A laugh track? A laugh track, you say?
Please do not discuss the case.
Oh, I have a laugh track. Gotta find it.
All rise. This Honorable Superior Court now stands at recess until
11:35.
11:35.
There it is. Or I have this one. Remember when they said they were going to get out early today? Actually, I'm going to rewind because I wasn't sure exactly if they specified when they're going to get out. So let me see what she says again.
Late, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. The state continues.
But did they say it was just one witness? That's what I was
Now
trying.
opening the session. Honorable Judgment after that, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Sue.
What's up, JD?
We are, Your Honor, just to inform the court, on a scheduling matter, I do have Matt Riley here today, and I believe that is all that I was able to get for today's testimony at this point. Because of that, Your Honor, I anticipate us ending early whenever Detective Riley is finished.
All right, so whenever Riley is finished, do we think that will be before lunch? Well, let me end this poll that has, do you think Michelle knows where Jennifer remains are? 108 votes. 96% say yes. So let me end this poll. And let me start a new poll. Engage with your audience. Start a poll. Do you think Detective Boraphil will be done by lunch? Thanks for being here, everybody. What's up, Lori? The Story. Hello. Good morning, JD. Next chapter. Who came in later? Lily, Paulie, Nancy, Brooklyn, Chloe, and Sally. Thanks, everyone, for being here today. Only one witness today, folks. One witness. So we shall see how long that will take. Lizbeth just tweeted that there was a Capri Sun. There was a Capri Sun in the car, but notice no orange Capri Suns because it wasn't Murdaugh's car. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I could explain the Capri Sun story. Sure. And we found out. Oh, good morning, Robert. Hey, Lori G. Thanks for being here, everyone. We got a couple of Loris in here. The reference is during the Murdaugh trial, we found out that Alex Murdaugh, grown-ass adult Alex Murdaugh, requested Capri Suns, which in and of itself is really not that bad. What the problem was, the man requested orange. His favorite flavor of Capri Sun was orange. If you're going to get Capri Suns, get fruit punch. What are you doing? Orange? Who gets orange? Family annihilators, apparently. But so that's the orange Capri Sun. And they were in the house, too. That's a good point by Brooklyn. They were in the... we learned... Or Pacific Cooler is good. Beef sticks, yes. We learned that from Blanca, right? Who now has Bubba with her. Good morning, Michelle B. Susan McKee Dean says grape is the best. Throw your favorite Capri Sun flavor in the chat. What's your favorite? A lot of Pacific Coolers in here. If you have one. We are just waiting, folks, until... What time was it? 11:35? Madeline, good to see you. Oh, hey, Madeline. Madeline, I put a... Oh, kiwi strawberry. I put a JBN snail... A JBN snail sticker in the merch store, if you know what I'm saying. A JBN... Meow. The last one got taken down, so I made one that looks a little different, and I'm hoping it doesn't get taken down, but try to get it now if you want it. JBN snail, you know what I'm saying? Good morning, Beezy. Brooklyn likes watermelon. MJ Fruit Punch. Robert Grape. Nancy's never tried one. Mia Kiwi Strawberry. Pumpkin Porter Grape. Oh, I should put the merch link in here, shouldn't I? The merch link. It does not look the same as the one that we have now, like this one. But I try to make it so it was a little different. Ecto Cooler from Amy. Break will be done in 10 minutes. 10 minutes, folks. 10 minutes. Good morning, Esther. Thanks for being here. I have a fun thing we can do, folks, that I have been meaning to do for a while. I have a fun thing. Hey, CH, put in the chat what trial you started following this channel from. Was it Murdaugh? Was it Adelson? Was it something else? Put in the chat what you first started following this channel from. Sweet Lou Lisk. Interesting. Murdaugh. Paltrow. Afy Paltrow. Murdaugh. Adelson. Murdaugh tweets. Lori G. This one today. Well, thanks for being here. Gwyneth Paltrow. Adelson. Adelscum. Thanks, Afy. Blair can't remember. Donnie says Anderson. Okay. Zachariah? His last name? Zachariah. Shannon doesn't trust pouch drinks. Adelson. Boots on the ground. That was a list was boots on the ground. Paltrow, Murdaugh. Grandma Gotti. Yersh. Oh, Sam, I am, Zachariah. You know, it's funny. Thank you, Funkarella. Murdaugh, my tweets. Did we cover the full Zachariah Anderson trial? I feel like we didn't. I don't know why. Thank you, Brooklyn. Mia says, just a couple of days. Awesome channel. Glad I found it. We're glad you found it, too. Yes, Kayla introduced MJ, I believe. Grandma Gotti. Melly. We did Melly, too. Murdaugh. Adelson. Interesting. What's up, Joni B? The question was, where did you first start following the channel from? You guys remember Castiglia Jabroni? Lady Bird was here before I followed Trot. That's true. I do remember that, Afy. Lisk, Drenda, Lisk. Interesting. When I was cursing Bob and Allie for pressure. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone to the Lisk press con or gone to the Lisk house if it wasn't for Bob and Allie yelling at me and Shannon to go there. Publicly buzzed. That's awesome. Oh, Mermaid says from Bob and Allie. Look at that. Over from Defense Diaries about a month ago. Awesome. Glad to see you. You came over. Thank you. Publicly buzz. See, that's what we like to do. We like to send folks each other's ways. That's a good question. When was I demonetized? I think it was like in April. All right, folks. We got about 7 minutes till court is back. Joni says the beginning. Awesome, Joni. Carrie heard it from Recovery Addict. Oh, love to hear it. Awesome. Yeah, who was here that one day Recovery Addict sent his folks over, and that was like, we had no mods. I think we had 0 mods. I think it was just me and Shannon. And then there were like 500 people in here, and we're like, what do we do? Well, we're glad you're here, Cindy. And then people were like, this guy curses a lot. Love to hear it. Look at this. This is great. Just saw Publicly Buzzed for the first time. Great channel. Awesome, Nancy. That's great. I'm glad you love them. We love them too. Let me put their link in here. We love my beautiful boys. Carly was in that group and didn't leave. So glad you're here, Carly. Six more minutes. By the way, I saw Steve has a preview, a little trailer, if you want to call it. He's been working really hard on some new videos on Idaho 4, so make sure to look out for that. RA is super nice. Super nice. Was so helpful for me when I started out. Scott, a gentleman and a scholar, so kind to told me about programs, anything I had questions about. Super, super nice. Oh, Brooklyn through Bob. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh, I see. Sunday at 5, the premiere. So make sure you're there. Sunday at 5. All right, Madeline. I hope that gets sent out to you with no problem. Fingers crossed. Thank you, by the way, Madeline. Madeline just put in an order for the JBN snail. Thank you so much. I hope there's no issues because last time there was. Hopefully it gets sent out. Fancy, that's awesome. Maui came from Fancy. Awesome. We love Fancy and Katie Kool-Lady. They are both awesome. We got about 4 minutes, folks. 4 minutes till break is over. Then they usually go at lunch at 1. Question is, will this gentleman be done at 1? We shall see. Kathy says Pacific Cooler. Blair came from Recovery Addict. That's awesome. Well, we're glad you're here, Carrie 28. Beezy has a sticker on their fridge. All right, so the 65% of folks say the detective will not be done by lunch. I guess we shall see. Donnie, if I'm reading this right, Donnie drinks Zimas. I am assuming he means Z-I-M-As. Remember Zima? Do they even still have Zimas? Or are you talking about something else, Donnie? That's a beer? I've never heard of that one, Donnie. Sprite beer. For folks who don't know, my drink of choice is a nice Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy, which you can't get now. So I have been drinking Cutwater Tiki Mai Tais. They're like 12% alcohol. I can only have like 2 of them, and then I'm done. I read your mind, MJ. Do they still make Zima? I thought you were talking about Zima, Donnie. I thought so. Yes, Donnie likes Zima, and INXS is his favorite band. INXS has some hits, folks. Two minutes till break is over. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Dun 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 dun. INXS is a great band. Todd likes a Natty Light. Babe drank Zimas with a Jolly Rancher. I probably just got a copyright claim because I did that so good. It sounded so much like the song that I probably got a copyright claim. You know what was another good one that they did? Never Tear Us Apart. Dun, 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 dun. That was a good one. Oh, also, didn't they do the cover of that song that's in Donnie Darko? What am I rambling about? By the way, have you guys seen Donnie Darko? That's such a good movie. Donnie Darko. Oh, was it Never Tear Us Apart? Or no? Yeah, which is a cover, I believe. What am I rambling about? Never Tear. Oh, no, that's their original song. All right. Steve-O just watched Donnie Darko like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Rewatched it. Angie is here. In Excess Meditate. Oh, no, the song I'm thinking of from Donnie Darko that was a cover, but it wasn't In Excess. It was Mad World. Did you guys know that's a cover in Donnie Darko? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Tears. Oh no, Tears for Fears did the original.
This
We're back.
Court is now opening back the session. Good morning.
Mad World. Dun, 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 dun. All these copyright claims I'm going to get today.
Yeah, you can bring the jury in.
Donnie Darko. Donnie sees big rabbits in his bathroom mirror too. Donnie's about to travel through time.
You will bring the jury.
Miko saw Tears for Fears in concert. Look at that. I wish I was on Kick just so I could play that song. It's so good. But we don't mess around with that anymore, folks. We used to in the beginning. Not anymore. Babu Bot. Babu Bot.
Would counsel stipulate, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You all just took a little trip into my brain, how my brain works there. Did you like all those non sequiturs? I don't even know what I was talking about. A little drill into my brain. That's the things I think about.
If I may inquire, Your Honor.
Yes,
Thank
inquire,
you. I believe
please.
we left off at the break. May I inquire the court with
up,
respect
Mike?
to State 71 file labeled Chevy Suburban. Did the court admit that as a full?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to have you take a look.
Oh, look, there's the court reporter that bashes the keys.
If you can, sir, what is photograph 1 out of that file?
That's an overall view of the 2015 Chevy Suburban as it was parked in our garage.
On what day?
31 May.
And by garage, where is that?
That's at Troconis in Litchfield.
Picture 2?
Again, another overall view of the front end.
Picture 3?
That is the left side or driver's side of the vehicle.
No, sir, when you processed the Chevy Suburban that day, did you take any swabbings or anything from the outside or exterior of the vehicle?
Yes.
What did you do?
I took DNA swabbings from the exterior door handles to include the tailgate.
With respect to swabbings, is that the same procedure that you have discussed on the other vehicles?
Same procedure as the Raptor, correct.
Protective gear as well?
Yes, gloves and a mask.
Picture 4?
That is the right side or passenger side of the vehicle.
Does this photograph also show where you took swabbings from the exterior of the vehicle?
Yes, those two exterior handles.
The door handles, the front and the passenger?
Yes.
Picture 5? Did you take any swabbings or anything for evidentiary value in picture 5?
Yes, I took DNA swabbing from the steering wheel.
And picture 6, sir. What does that picture contain?
That is a photo of the compartment that was underneath the floor of the cargo area.
Did you take any swabbings or evidentiary samples with respect to the compartment underneath the floor?
No.
Picture 7.
That is a picture of the rear cargo area of the Chevy Suburban.
And with respect to the flooring of the rear cargo area, what is that?
That is a WeatherTech floor liner.
Sir, I have a question about the liner. It's different colors in different areas. Why is that?
Objection? How would he know?
Well,
If you know.
Unless he did it.
well, that may be what the testimony is, so the court is going to overrule the objection.
Well, I would ask for a foundation question then, because if he didn't do it, then I would object for that reason.
I can ask a foundation question, Your Honor, if it's easier. Sir, did you take any action with respect to the trunk of the vehicle?
Yes, during processing, we sprayed a luminol solution in throughout the interior compartment, passenger compartment, to include the rear cargo area.
To include it, if you can, sir, would you, Your Honor, if you may stand up to
Yes.
the screen. Sir, if you could walk up to the screen behind you. With respect to photograph 7 out of State 71 file Chevy Suburban, did you spray any luminol in that area?
Yes, I did.
Where did you spray?
On the floor liner, on the walls, on the back of the seat, the carpeted seat back.
What was the purpose of doing that?
It was
Objection, asked and answered.
Well,
I don't think it was, Your Honor, with respect to this
the
piece of evidence.
concerning the reason the luminol was sprayed, concerning this photograph, that has not been asked and answered. Overruled.
Sir, why did you spray the luminol in that area?
We were searching for areas containing latent blood-like material.
With respect to the luminol process, what did you do?
Objection, asked and answered.
But
with respect
concerning
to
this
this.
vehicle, it has not been asked and answered. Overruled.
I believe it was for this vehicle, Your Honor.
Oh,
Was
my
with respect to
Lanta,
the
shut up.
photograph, Your Honor, based on counsel's objection.
It's overruled.
Sir, if you can, is the area that if you can walk through the process of utilizing the luminol in the cargo area of the vehicle, please?
So following a visual inspection, I applied a luminol solution in a darkened environment. Look for any kind of luminescent areas, and then I would further test those with the Castlemeyer presumptive test.
I'll just show you what's marked as picture 8.
Well, I mean, Your Honor, the issue was what was those white spots? And then he never asked the question. I don't know if those spots were supposed to speculate that the white marks on the liner were luminol, but we never heard that question, so.
Well, there is cross-examination that is available.
Sir, if you could take a look at picture 8, please. What does that depict?
This was a photograph during the application of luminol.
Is there any results from the luminol, and is the results captured on the photograph?
And I'm going to object to the term results.
Oh, my
You can tell by
Lanta.
what it shows, not what the results are saying.
Well, the testimony so far has been that once the luminol is applied, it illuminates a certain area. So the court is not clear on what the objection is.
Objection, I just want to hear my dumb voice. That's what it was, Your Honor.
If the objection is, how does luminol interact with whatever substances are on the surfaces? The court understands the testimony to be that it illuminates, it turns a certain color. So overruled.
Sir, did any area in the trunk cargo area illuminate after spraying the luminol on it?
Yes, it was this area here, depicted here, by that bluish color. We further examined that area, conducted a presumptive test with the Castlemeyer reagents, obtained a positive result, and took further evidentiary samples.
From that area?
Correct, from the left-hand side.
When you say evidentiary samples, what does that mean?
2 swabs were taken of the area.
Do you know what exhibit number they are?
Not off the top of my head. No.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at your report?
Yes.
While this pauses.
Yes.
Thanks for being here, everyone. Just want to say thank you. We appreciate you being here.
72 for ID, sir. If you can take a moment, take a look at it, read it to yourself, please, and then look up when you're done.
Thanks, mods, as always, for your hard work helping out. Hit that like button if you haven't hit. Look at that, 153 likes, 154 viewers. We
Yes,
love
we
it.
seized that
Love
as
it.
Exhibit 144.
Thank you. Did you take any further action with respect to the WeatherTech floor liner from the 2015 Chevy Suburban?
Yes, I ended up seizing the entire floor line.
Why did you do that?
To send it to the lab for further examination.
You could have a seat, sir. I'm sorry. Thank you. Now, picture 9. Sir, what is contained in that photograph?
That is photographs of some of the contents of the interior of the vehicle laid out during the inventory process.
Picture 10.
Again, more contents from the inside of the vehicle.
And picture 11.
Again, contents from the inside of the vehicle, to include that WeatherTech floor liner.
And the WeatherTech liner, is that what is contained on the left side of that photograph?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, sir, did you also have an opportunity to conduct a search of 585 Deercliff in Avon?
Yes.
What is 585 Deercliff?
585 Deercliff is a house on a piece of property owned by the Ford Group. The house was, as we found it, in a state of disrepair, was unoccupied.
What day did you go there?
We went there on June the 4th.
Did you have a search warrant?
Yes, we did.
And you say we, who was with you?
So Detective Downs, Detective Hazen, Sergeant Duva, other members of the Western District Major Crime Squad, and we also had some state police canine teams with us as well.
What was the purpose of going to 585 Deercliff in Avon?
We were searching for Jennifer Dulos and any evidence related to her disappearance.
Did you have a particular assignment that day?
Again, I was assigned as evidence collection, evidence officer.
So I'm going to have you take a look at the screen in front of you. For the record, the screen to the jury is black. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
Is a overhead, looks like a Google Earth view of Deercliff.
When you say Deercliff, is that the place that you went to that day?
Yes.
And I'm sorry, what day was that again?
This was June the 4th.
Oh, crap. Nancy Moonrush gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Nancy. Welcome, Kathy, Deborah Ann, Angela, Beasy, and Next Chapter. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Buddy, we're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be pals. We're gonna wrestle around.
And I'm going to show you picture 2.
Have a moment of counsel.
A moment with counsel. Great.
Your Honor, counsel has indicated he has no objection to the file marked Deercliff, 585 Deercliff, state 71, for all the photos to be moved. I've asked that they be moved this time, and I can continue.
That's correct.
Thank you. 585 Deercliff. How many photos are there?
Your Honor, it is
14, Your Honor.
14.
1 through 14 admitted as full.
Thank you. Sir, picture 1, if you wouldn't mind standing up and going to the screen behind you. Is 585 Deercliff reflected on that map?
Yes.
If you could point it out, please.
It's in the upper center portion of the image, marked with that red marker.
Is Deercliff Road on that map as well?
Deercliff Road can be seen here, running north-south.
What about Jefferson Crossing?
Jefferson Crossing is down here at the bottom.
And 4 Jefferson Crossing?
4 Jefferson Crossing is at the bottom edge of the photograph.
Thank you. You can have a seat, sir. Photograph 2, what does that depict?
That is a photo of the base of the driveway at 585 Deercliff.
Does this appear exactly like you saw it on June 4th, 2019?
Yes.
With the for sale sign?
Correct.
Could you describe the house, please, or the property?
I said the property appeared to be unoccupied, not lived in. It was, the lawn was overgrown. The interior was unkempt. It was, the property was in a state of disrepair.
Picture 3, sir, what is depicted there?
That's a photo of 585 Deercliff. That's the front of the property.
And would you say the lawn was overgrown? Do you mean this at the bottom left-hand corner?
Yes.
Was that around the entire property?
Yes.
Picture 4?
That's the front of the residence.
And picture 5, sir?
That's a photograph of the garage door.
Were you able to get into the garage?
Yes, the garage was unlocked.
Miss Dina, always taking care of our Kick members, just gave a membership to Donnie. Thank you so much, Miss Dina, for your support as always. Thank you.
I just want to draw your attention and have one question on picture 3, sir. Over on the right side of the photograph, what car is that?
That's our major crime van.
Okay. So every time you say the van, is that what you're talking about?
That's the van.
That's the van. Okay. Picture 6.
That's a photo of the door on the front side of the house that we used to access to a residence.
Was it locked?
We found it open.
And picture 7, sir, what is that?
That's the interior of the garage at Deercliff.
What was contained within that garage?
There was a Porsche that appeared to us to have sustained some collision damage. And there was also a lot of contractor supplies, doors, insulation, things like that.
Were you able to enter that garage?
We were. We removed a lot of the material until we could actually go in and search that garage.
Did you search the garage?
Yes.
Sir, what is contained on picture 7?
That is some of the items we found in the garage.
In the lower right-hand corner, sir, what is this? If you can see my cursor.
That's the front end of the Porsche We saw the back end in the previous photograph. This is the front end.
Was the hood up like that when you got there?
Yes.
Was there any other damage to the vehicle?
I'm sorry, ma'am, could you?
Was there any other damage to the vehicle?
I remember a cracked windshield.
Picture 8? Is that what it looked like?
Yes.
What about the inside of the vehicle?
The inside of the vehicle, we noted that airbags had been deployed, and also.
This is super interesting. What is this about? What, this Porsche got into an accident with airbags deployed, and they drove it back to this house?
There was the 2 front seats were missing.
Were they missing completely? Did you find them anywhere in the garage?
No.
What about the back seats?
They were in place.
And 9, sir, what is that?
Just more of the items from the garage.
That vehicle on 9, the white car, do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that, what is it?
I remember it to be some sort of toy or model or something. Okay. It wasn't a motor vehicle.
It's a Power Wheels.
The size wasn't one that a normal car.
No.
It's for a child. Safe to say.
Similar, correct.
Okay. And 10?
That's some more of the items found along one of the walls of the garage.
Oh, wow.
And did you enter?
Hot Spice Jess coming in hot. That's where they got the replacement seats for the Tacoma. Thank you, Hot Spice.
The property
Jess.
as well?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. What is that photograph, sir?
That's a view of the kitchen on the first floor of the residence.
With respect to the rest of the residents, did you find anything of evidentiary value at 585 Deercliff?
No.
And I believe I have one last question, sir. That photograph, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is it?
That appeared to us to be the security camera. However, upon further examination, we could find no power source running to it. There was no memory card in it. So it appeared to us to be like a dummy camera.
Thank you, sir. With respect to properties owned by Photos Duelos, did you also search a property called 80 Mountain Spring?
Yes.
Road? What day did you search that property?
We searched this on June the 2nd of 2019.
Who were you with that day?
Sergeant Duva, Detective McGavin, Detective Keppel, Detective Hazen, Detective Pierston, other members of the Major Crime Squad, and there were several state police canine teams also on scene.
What was your assignment for that day?
Again, as evidence officer.
Did you have a search warrant?
Yes, we did.
What were you searching for?
We were searching for Jennifer Dulos and any evidence associated with her disappearance.
Did you have a procedure or process that you utilized in conducting a search of 80 Mountain Spring Road?
Yes.
What was that process or procedure?
We first conducted a walkthrough of the property to determine what we were dealing with. We then went through with overall photographs, both primary and backup, and then broke the house up into different areas to search and systematically search the house.
And did you, well, I wanted to have you draw your attention to the screen in front of you, sir. This would be on State 71, filed Mark 80 Mountain Spring Road. For the record, the screen to the jury is dark. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is depicted there?
That is a overhead view from Google Earth of 80 Mountain Spring.
Is that the area that you went to, or the house that you went to on June 2nd, 2019?
Yes.
States 2. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
That is another image from Google Earth, Street View. That's the base of the driveway to 80 Mountain Spring.
Did you utilize that driveway in your search?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe this is 2A. Sir, what is that?
That is a overall picture of the base of the driveway taken on June the 2nd, 2019.
And you said take it. Did you take this photograph?
I did not.
Were you present when it was taken?
Yes.
Does it fairly and accurately represent the, I guess, outside of 80 Mountain Spring Road that day?
Yes, it does.
States 3.
Again, another shot of just moving further up the driveway towards the house at 80 Mountain Spring.
Okay, I'm actually going to show you a series of photographs, sir. If you can, just take a look. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in those photographs.
Yes, those are overall views of the exterior of the house.
Were you present when those photographs were taken?
Yes.
What day were they taken?
June 2nd, 2019.
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the outside of the house looked like that day on June 2nd, 2019?
Yes.
The state would offer photos 1 through 8 on file 71 marked 80 Mountain Spring Road.
No objection.
Admitted as full exhibit.
10, 11, 9, 10, 11.
Interior, yes, I did.
Did you go into each of the rooms contained in those photographs?
Yes.
Did they fairly and accurately represent what those rooms looked like on that day?
Yes.
State would offer 9, 10, 11, and 12.
No objection.
File 80 Mountain Spring Road, photos 9 through 12, admitted as full exhibits.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to have you keep taking a look, please. 13, 14, and then 15, 16, and 17. First, with respect to 14 and 15, I'm sorry, 13 and 14. Do you recognize those photographs?
Yes.
What is depicted in those photographs?
The basement at 80 Mountain Spring.
Did you go down to the basement that day?
I did.
Were you present when these photographs were taken?
Yes.
Do they fairly and accurately represent what the basement looked like that day?
Yes.
Thank you. And with respect to 15, 16, and 17, do you recognize what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes.
What is it?
It's part of the wastewater septic system of the property.
And with respect to, I'll start with 15. What does this show?
Those are the lids of the septic system and 2 propane tanks that were buried off of the east side of the house, or adjacent to the garage.
Were you present when this photograph was taken?
Yes.
Does it fairly and accurately represent what that looked like that day?
Yes.
And with respect to 16, what is that?
That is the lid to that wastewater part of the septic system.
Does that fairly and accurately represent what it looked like that day?
Yes.
Okay, take a look at 17. What is that?
That's looking down into that tank once the cover was removed.
And briefly, did you take any action with respect to 17?
Yes, I did.
Does that fairly and accurately represent what it looked like prior to you? Well, I'll withdraw that if I can. What is it? What does it show?
That's looking down into that wastewater tank. Is the best way I can describe it.
And does it fairly and accurately show what it looked like when you looked down into the wastewater tank?
Yes.
Okay. State would offer, believe it is 15, 16, and 17.
No objection.
So 80 Mountain Spring Road, photos 15, 16, and 17 admitted as full.
Thank you, sir. 3 more pictures if you can. 18, 19, and 20. So there's 18, 19, and 20. Do you recognize what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes.
What is depicted in those photographs?
That's the interior of the garage at 80 Mountain Spring.
Did you go into the interior of the garage at 80 Mountain Spring?
Yes.
And do these photographs fairly and accurately represent what the interior of the garage looked like on that day?
Yes.
Were you present when those photographs were taken?
Yes, I was.
State would offer 18, 19, and 20, Your Honor.
Could you just quickly flash them again? 18, 19, and 20.
There's
please?
18, 19, 20.
No objection.
80 Mountain Spring Road, photos 18, 19, and 20 admitted as full.
Thank you, sir. If you can, take a look. I believe that's the entirety of 80 Mountain Spring Road, Your Honor.
Thank you.
If I may.
Attorney Manning. 13 and 14. We skipped over.
Oh, I believe we spoke about 13 and 14. Did I miss those two?
We did 15.
I would offer 13 and 14 as well.
Well, there was no objection to the photos 1 through 14 being admitted as full, correct?
Right.
Thank you, if I may. Sir, if you wouldn't mind taking a look behind you, and actually if you wouldn't mind taking a step behind you and taking a look at that screen. What is depicted on that screen?
Yes, this is the house at 80 Mountain Spring.
Which one, please?
I'm sorry, this one here. In the
Is that where?
center of the image.
Thank you. Is that where you went that day on June 2nd, 2019?
Yes.
And again, who were you with?
I was with members of the Major Crime Squad and State Police K-9 teams.
And the purpose for going there?
Again, to locate Jennifer Dulos and any evidence relevant to her disappearance.
Picture 2.
That's
Sir.
another image from Google Earth Street View of the base of the driveway at 80 Mountain Spring.
Now, over here, I'm going to draw your attention to this object here. Do you see the cursor, sir?
Yes.
In the upper middle left side of the screen. Oh, what is that?
Appears to be it's similar to a post for a real estate sign.
Was there a sign on it when you arrived there that day?
I don't recall.
Their driveway's longer than the block I live on. I'm fairly certain.
Picture 2A, actually. What does this show, sir?
This is base of the driveway at 80 Mountain Spring.
And what are these red lines?
They were, it was almost like tape, engineer tape, used to cordon off the driveway from the lawn.
Picture 3.
And further up the driveway, we're looking towards the front side of the house.
What material is the driveway, sir?
It was a crushed stone.
And picture 4.
That's the front of the residence at 80 Mountain Spring.
Now, sir, if you can, I'm going to scroll in a little bit. Do you see this sign here? Do you recall that being on there?
Yes.
And what does it say?
It said Ford Route.
And this red line going across, is that more of the tape?
Yes.
Was 80 Mountain Spring Road occupied, sir?
No, it was not.
Was there any items, that contained within it? Any furniture, clothing, anything like that?
No, it was unoccupied.
Picture 5, what does that show?
It's a photograph of the garage, the four-bay garage.
Yeah, that garage is
Over here
bigger
on the
than my
bottom
house.
right. What is this?
Again, this is the awning of our major crime van.
And how many bays are in this garage?
4 bays.
And picture 6?
That's the back of the house, ma'am.
And picture 7?
That's one of the ends of the house, ma'am.
Picture 8?
And that's one of the side yards and ends of the house.
And we see on the bottom right, or middle right, I should say, has that same 4-group sign, is that correct?
Yes, that's seen in the previous picture.
Picture 9, sir, what is that?
That's a view of the door that we use to gain access. It's on the rear of the house.
Okay. You indicated, did you conduct a walkthrough?
We did,
Did you utilize the store to conduct the walkthrough?
yes.
What was the purpose of a walkthrough?
It was to basically get a layout of the house and see if there's any kind of transient evidence or fragile evidence to address first, and come up with a game plan of how we were going to accomplish this search.
How long was the search that day?
It was approximately 8 hours.
Photograph 10, what area does this show?
This is the kitchen. The door we saw previously is one of these French doors here.
Did you seize anything of evidentiary value in the kitchen?
No.
But these doors were the ones you went through?
Yes.
Were you wearing protective gear when you went into the house?
Yes, I was wearing gloves.
What door is this, sir? Picture 11?
This is the front foyer of the house. That's the front door depicted in the center of the photograph.
And picture 12?
Yeah, it's one of the drawing rooms or libraries or living rooms on one of the ends of the house.
Picture 13?
The basement of the residence.
And picture 14?
Yeah, different area of the basement.
Picture 15?
Okay, this is off the side yard. This is the portion of the driveway adjacent to the garage.
Did you search the area surrounding 80 Mountain as well?
I did not go farther than these items here. I did see dog teams running through the woods and the fields adjacent.
With respect to those items there, what did you do?
I opened the lids on these propane cylinders here to check those. And I also opened the lid of this, it's almost like a gray water or part of the septic system.
Picture 16, what is that?
That's the cover to that, the part of the septic system I spoke about.
And picture 17?
And that's the interior of that tank with the top removed.
Did you take any action with respect to that tank?
I did. I examined this upper area for any blood-like material, any hairs, fibers, bits of clothing.
Did you seize anything for evidentiary value out of that tank that day?
I did not.
Thank you. Did you go into the garage, sir?
I did.
Picture 18, sir. Is that what the garage looked like that day?
Yes.
Was there anything contained within it?
Nothing besides that backpack blower and the recycling container.
Did you look in the recycling container?
Yes.
What was contained within?
It contained garbage and debris from landscaping activities.
How full was it?
I really can't say for sure, man.
Do you recall what items were contained within that bin?
I remember fertilizer bags, grass seed bags. There was a styrofoam coffee cup or disposable coffee cup that I took a look at.
Did you seize anything out of that bag?
No.
Picture 19.
This is just a view of the garage taken from that opposite corner, and this is the entry door into the main portion of the house.
What door is this, sir?
That I believe leads to a staircase to access the upper floors.
And on picture 19, next to that staircase door, there's a bags, and in the corner as well, next to the other door. What were those bags?
Landscaping material, fertilizer.
And just with picture 20, what does that contain?
This is just an overall view of the garage at the conclusion of our search.
Now, there was, you can have a seat, sir. Sorry. There was a recycling bin in the garage, sir. Were there also garbage bins?
Yes.
Where were the garbage bins located?
They were located at the base of the driveway.
Near the road?
Near the road, correct.
Did you look in there?
I did.
What was contained within the garbage cans?
It was just an Amazon box or Amazon packaging.
Anything else?
That was it. It was empty otherwise.
Did you seize anything for evidentiary value out of that garbage can?
No.
Now, did you search also for Jefferson Crossing?
Yes.
When did you search for Jefferson Crossing?
We searched for Jefferson Crossing on June the 2nd, 2019.
Now you say we. Who's we?
Members of the major crime van under the supervision of Sergeant Joe Duva.
And who are those members?
Off the top of my head, Jamie Pearston, Detective Bob Hazen, Detective Katie Keppel, Detective Frank McGavin.
I just want to clarify something. Just for a timeline, if I can, on May 31st, what items or properties or vehicles did you search?
We searched the Ford Raptor and the 2015 Chevy Suburban.
What day did you search the 80 Mountain Spring?
We searched that on the 2nd.
What day did you search for Jefferson Crossing?
We searched for Jefferson Crossing on the 3rd.
And what day did you search 585 Deercliff?
On the 4th.
Okay. So this would be the June 3rd search of 4 Jefferson Crossing?
Yes, I apologize.
Okay. Now, what was your assignment for that day?
Again, evidence collection. I
And
was a designated evidence officer.
were you there pursuant to a search warrant?
Yes, I was.
What were you searching for?
And we were searching for Jennifer Dulos and any evidence relative to her disappearance.
Now, was there a certain procedure in place for conducting the search that day on June 3rd?
Yes.
What was that procedure?
We first conducted a walkthrough. I went on that walkthrough. And again, it was to get a general layout of the house, identify any kind of transient evidence or something that had to be addressed right away.
What time did you arrive that day?
At approximately 10 o'clock in the morning.
When did you complete the search?
At about 7 o'clock in the evening.
So you conducted the walkthrough first. What came next?
Then we went through and videotaped the property, exterior and interior.
Did you videotape it?
I did not.
Who was that assignment given to?
I don't recall now.
After the videotapes were going in, what happened next?
Then overall photography was done, both primary and backup.
Do you recall who was given that assignment?
It was Detective Hazen and Detective Keppel.
After photographs?
After photographs, then we began a systematic search of the interior of the residence.
Did you participate in that search?
I did.
As an evidence officer, what are some of your responsibilities that day?
My responsibilities are to not only search myself, different areas of the house, but also if other team members find anything of possible interest, they would let me know, and then I would eventually decide whether or not to seize it or not. I was also responsible for collecting those items, packaging them, labeling them.
Now, did you review the search warrant prior to entering the house?
Yes.
And again, just to be clear, on June 3rd, were you aware of the items that had been removed from the garbage cans on Albany Avenue?
Yes, some of the items.
Now, if you can, sir, take a look at the screen in front of you. I'm going to show you a series of photographs if I can. Photograph 1, 2, 3, actually this is labeled 4, 6, 7, 10. With respect to 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, do you recognize what is depicted in those photographs?
Yes, I do.
What is depicted in those photographs?
Those are exterior views of the residence at 4 Jefferson Crossing.
Is that how the outside of 4 Jefferson Crossing looked that day on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
Who took those photographs?
These were taken by either Detective Hazen or Detective Keppel.
Do those photographs were you present when the photographs were taken?
Yes.
And I probably already asked this, but do they fairly and accurately represent the outside of that house that day?
Yes.
I would offer, Your Honor, 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 10.
No objection.
4 Jefferson Crossing, photos 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 10 admitted as full.
So if you could keep looking at your screen, we have 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Do you recognize what's depicted in 11 through 15?
Yes.
What is 11?
This is a view from the drive-through, looking towards the portion of the residence that contain like the business office.
When you say the drive-through, where in relation to the rest of the house is that?
It's, if you're standing in the front yard, it's towards the right-hand side of the house.
Is it near the garages?
Near the garages, correct.
Does it fairly and accurately represent that, I guess, drive-through area facing the house?
Yes.
As you saw it on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
With respect to photographs 12, 13, 14, and 15, what is contained on those photographs?
Those depict the 2 garages at the residence.
You say 2 garages? What do you mean by that?
On either side of that kind of drive-through, there were garages on either side.
If I can go to 12, which side of the cut-through garage is this?
That is the residence side. I'm going to call it the side towards the house.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately represent what the garage looked like on the garage side towards the house?
Yes.
Did you go in there and were you present at this time?
Yes.
And picture 13.
Again, it's another photograph of the garages on the side of the. From this photograph, I can't tell which garage this is in.
Would it refresh your recollection to take a look at a photo report?
Yes.
At some point, they're going to show when he found the alibi script, which they can't call an alibi script. But in the garbage can, they found Fotis and Michelle writing out their exact, an alibi script. Basically, they wrote down to the T what they were going to say that they did on the day that Jennifer went missing. So good luck explaining that and went away, Michelle. The timeline, Mia says.
Can I approach the clerk, Your Honor?
Yes.
Which, by the way, the timeline doesn't match what actually happened.
73. If you can take a look at it, I'm going to draw your attention to the middle of page 5.
Yeah, I don't think we're finishing this before lunch, that's for sure. And if we don't, I got a stream set up for 2 o'clock.
Sir, did that refresh your recollection as to which side of the house the garage is on?
Yes,
Which side of the house was it on?
it would be on the office side.
May I have that back, please? And did that fairly and accurately represent what that looked like that day?
Yes.
And picture 14.
That's an overall view of the garage on the house side, the residence side.
Did that fairly and accurately represent what that looked like that day?
Yes.
Did you go through the garage in the course of your processing?
Yes, I was part of the team that searched this portion of the house.
And 15, sir, what does that picture do?
That is a overall photo of the garage on the office side of that drive-through.
Did you go through that garage as well?
Yes, I did.
And does it fairly and accurately represent what you saw that day on June 3rd, 2019 of the garage on that side of the house?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would offer 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Could you just put 11 up for the witness, please? Detective Riley, I'm not sure I understood your description of this image, number 11. You said it was a door to the office, but I see two. In this image, I see two. So could you just clarify for me which is which that you're referring to?
I remember the door on the right-hand side, that darker colored wood door, led to a staircase that led up to the office.
That's what you were talking about, that door to the office, not the one to the left.
Right.
Correct. Correct. I know, that's the old. Right. Correct, right? Correct. And that door goes to which garage, so that I'm oriented correctly here?
The garage underneath the office.
Yeah, but if I'm standing by the street looking towards the house, there's that, you refer to it, it's like a portico, you called it a drive-through, but it's like a covered archway, right? There's a fancy word for it, but I can't remember, Porsche something, but I can't remember. Would these be, this picture, would it show the left side of that archway?
I believe it shows the right side of that archway.
The right side. So there's two garages that are actually separated from the other two garages by that archway?
Yes.
Okay. And one other question I wanted to ask you, could you please show the witness 12, 13, that one, and 14. Let's go back to 13, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah. Is this how you saw? You said this is the side of the garage that's actually on the side closer to the house as opposed to the side where the office was?
No, this is on the. This is a photo of the garage on that right-hand side of the house.
On the separated right-hand side garage.
Correct.
Right? And it looked like this, the floor looked like that with that staining and everything?
Yes.
And one more, the next image, please, number 14, please. Is this the same room, or is this now the same garage, or is this now the other garage?
This is the opposite.
Okay, so this garage, number 14, is the one, so I'm oriented closer to the house side, right?
Yes.
Left, facing the house on the left. Yes?
Yes.
And were those stains, did they look like that when you were there that day?
Yes.
I have no objection to any of those.
Thank you. 4 Jefferson Crossing, photos 11, 12, 13.
Someone get
14,
that woman a cough drop.
And 15 admitted as full.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to show you, if I can, I'll start with 16. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is depicted in that photograph?
It's a photograph of the mudroom off of the kitchen.
Did you search this area on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes, I did.
Is it a photograph prior to the search or after the search?
It was after the search.
How do you know?
Because I noticed that item, that black bag depicted on the floor, had been moved from its original position.
Who moved it from its original position?
I did.
Okay, so this photograph, does this photograph fairly and accurately portray the mudroom, including that item, as you left it after the search?
Yes.
The state would offer 16, Your Honor.
No objection.
For Jefferson Crossing, photo 16 admitted as full.
State's 16A, sir, if you can take a look at that. What?
By the way, if I'm on the jury right now, the only thing I'm thinking about is what are we doing for lunch? When are we going? I want to get lunch. Where are we going for lunch? Because unless there's something big here, I'm not going to be paying attention if I'm on the jury right now.
Does that depict?
That's an item that I found within that black bag.
And by black bag, that's the item that you moved in the previous photograph?
Correct.
Did you take this photograph?
No, I did not.
Okay. Did you put that item where it is on its location?
Yes.
Okay. So and the numbers on it and the other item itself, did you place those like that?
I placed the numbers there.
Okay. So does this photograph fairly and accurately represent as an item you placed and put down on the mudroom in 2019?
Yes.
State would offer 16A.
No objection.
For Jefferson Crossing, photo 16A admitted as full.
And 16B, sir. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
That's another item that we found inside that black bag on the floor of the mudroom.
Did you remove it from the black bag?
Yes, I did.
And did you place that item on, I'm sorry, is this the floor?
This is the floor of the mudroom.
Did you place that item on the floor of the mudroom?
Yes.
In that manner and the way it's reflected on that photograph?
Yes.
And with respect to the numbers on the top, did you place those there?
I did.
And does this photograph fairly and accurately represent what that item looks like on the floor of the mudroom after you had removed it from the black bag and placed those markings at the top on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
State would offer 16B.
What, dear, please?
Yes.
The state keeps referring to this as, quote, an item. This is 3 different items, isn't it?
I seized them all together as one.
You seized them at the same time, but you said it was one. It's 3 different things that we're looking at, correct?
Yes.
And you said they were inside the other bag the bag that you talked about, which had the other number that we just saw a minute ago, right?
Correct.
And you laid them out, these 3 separate things on the floor, right?
Yes.
And you didn't take this picture?
No, I did not.
But someone else took it while you were present?
Yes.
And who chose which order to put these 3 pages in?
I did, sir.
You laid them out yourself?
Yes.
No objection.
For Jefferson Crossing, photo 16B admitted as full.
So I'm going to show you 17. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes, that is the kitchen of the residence at Jefferson Crossing.
Is that a fair and accurate representation of what the kitchen looked like that day on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
Did you go through that kitchen?
I did.
State would offer 17, Your Honor.
No objection.
For Jefferson Crossing,
Take care, Miss
photo
Dina.
17 admitted as full.
States 17A. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That is a photo of an item that was found during a search of the kitchen.
Did you place it there?
I did,
And
along with the number.
where, in the kitchen, is that the kitchen we just saw, 17?
Yes.
Okay, so with respect to 17A, you placed a number in the bags there. Is this a fair and accurate representation? I'm sorry, I should strike that. Is this a fair and accurate representation of what that item looked like that day on June 3rd, 2019, after you had placed it there with the, I guess, item number next to it?
Yes.
State would offer 17A.
And just to clarify, you said this, you placed it there from someplace else?
It was found during a search of the kitchen.
But when you say it was found, just in something?
Yes, it was in another location.
Like under a sink maybe?
It was in a almost like a recycling cabinet.
So under a counter someplace?
Yes.
Or in a pantry? What are we talking about?
No, it was under a counter.
And did you see it under the counter?
I don't recall.
So did you pull it out yourself from the counter?
I don't recall if I did or the person who was also searching the kitchen with me did.
And who was that again?
It was Sergeant Joe Duva.
Sergeant Duva, D-U-V-A, right?
Yes.
Was the item pulled out that way, or is that something you did for purposes of photographing?
I did not do that.
So did Sergeant Duva?
If he removed it,
Well, you don't know.
I don't know.
Fair enough. And then there's another box that's seen in the same image. You're not being asked about that, but is that in that location where it is in this image, or is that also something that was placed there? You know?
That was removed during the search and placed on top of the counter.
Again, do you know if it came from the same recycling cabinet that you just mentioned, or was it from a different place?
I don't recall, sir.
And after it was placed, that is the object, which is a box, so I'll just say it because I just want to be clear. You put the number next to it before that photo was taken, correct?
Yes, I did.
And that's why in the previous photograph, we don't see this at all, right? The one that of the number 17, we see that in that image?
No.
Go back one just for a minute, please. Yeah, so that was placed after this image was taken, right?
Yes, this was taken before the search actually got started.
And so that I'm clear about the 17A, that's how it looked after it was placed by maybe Sergeant Duva and after he'd taken out of someplace else, right?
Yes.
With that clarification, I do not object.
Thank you. For Jefferson Crossing, photo 17A admitted as full.
Sir, just a couple more. 18 and 19. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in those photographs?
Yes.
What is depicted in that photograph?
These were the dining room and living room of the residence we found on the first floor.
Do those photographs fairly and accurately represent what the dining room and the living room look like at 4 Jefferson Crossing on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
Photograph 20. Sir, do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is depicted in that photograph?
That is a photograph of the second floor office, business office.
Did you go into the office?
I did.
Did you assist in a search in the office?
Yes.
With respect to this photograph, where in the timeline of the search is this photograph taken?
This is taken at the end of the search
How do you know?
because on the chair you can see a copy of page 5 of the search warrant.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately represent what the office looked like at the end of the search on June 3rd, 2019?
Yes.
Well, the court just wants to clarify the testimony.
Scene at the end of the scene, at the end of the processing or the end of the search?
Yes, we do.
Why do you do that?
Just documents the condition of the scene as we left it.
Show you what's been marked as picture 21. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
That is an item found in the upstairs office.
Did you find this item?
I did not initially locate it, no.
Who did?
Detective Pearson.
Did you place it in the area that it's depicted in the photograph?
I don't recall if it was already in that exact location or if I just squared it up for photography purposes.
What is this location?
This is the center table in the upstairs office.
Is that the table that was on the preceding photograph you saw?
Yes.
And when the markings or placards on the top of it, did you put those there?
I did.
Does this photograph fairly and accurately represent this item as displayed after you put the markings at the top of the item?
Yes.
State would offer actually 21, I believe, and 22. Sir, do you recognize that?
Yes.
What is that?
That's the back or the reverse side of that item.
Did you flip the page over to the reverse side?
I did not.
Okay. Do you know who did?
The photographer did.
Did you look at the back and the front of it?
I did.
And did you make a decision to seize that as an exhibit that day?
Yes.
Does states 22 fairly and did you move the placards or the right numbers at the top of it?
Did I move the placards?
Move them in between of the photo shoots, I guess.
I did not.
Okay. And so those are the ones that you put down?
Yes.
Does this picture fairly and accurately represent the backside of that paper that day?
Yes.
State would offer 20, 21, and 22.
May I inquire?
Yes.
Just real quick before this jabroni talks, I realize we have a lot of new folks. They may wonder why I have chat on the screen, other than trying to make this look like my own unique stream. We are also streaming on Facebook and Twitch and Kick, so if you're looking at the screen, you can see the chat. Most people are either on Kick or YouTube. You can talk to people on Kick as well as YouTube. So that's why I have it on the screen. If you don't know what Kick is, it's like a competitor to YouTube. They take pretty much nothing as far as fees, like if you do tips and stuff on there. So that's the difference between Kick and that's why I have it on the stream. And some people like Kick better. So it's KICK, by the way, not KIK, which is an app for adultery.
With regard to...
Sometimes.
20, the items in the trash barrel, is that how you observed them when this picture was taken?
At the conclusion of processing, that's what it appeared to be.
Did you either take something out of that trash barrel or put something in before this picture was taken?
I did not personally, but I know that those trash barrels were searched.
Somebody did go through them?
Yes.
So maybe things were moved around in this?
As depicted in this picture, yes.
Okay. And then if you could go to, please, 21 for a moment. I just want to be clear, the folds and the wrinkles that are in this item, were they on it when you first observed it?
Yes.
You didn't do folds or anything to change it, right?
No.
And or crumple it in any way?
No.
Do you recall whether the item when you first saw it was in that trash barrel?
I don't recall. This is the first time I saw this. It was in this condition.
But you don't know who took...
And by the way, yes, I am on Facebook. I'm the Shaming of Jay on pretty much every social media.
It out from wherever it was, right? You weren't the one who discovered it.
I did not discover it, no.
Someone else called your attention to it.
Yes.
And this is the condition it was in when you said you might have moved it to straighten it out, but it was in this general location next to the item with the Post-it on it when you seized it, right?
It was on the table.
Okay. And you didn't take whatever else is in this Exhibit 21, right? There's some items to the right there with some Post-it and some other stuff that I just want to make clear that was not seized?
No, it was not.
Right. And then if you could just please go to 22. You're saying this is the back side of that same document, right?
Yes.
And did you flip it over, or did someone else flip it over for this image?
For this photograph,
Yeah.
It was I did not do it. It was
Look at hospice.
I didn't-
It was the
Hospice.
photographer.
The photographer.
Look at Hospice Jess, who is Hospice Jess on Kick, gifted a membership to Dan from Publicly Buzzed. Ricky Cougarback. Thank you so much, Jess. You're the best.
And that would have been either of the two officers you mentioned, either Detective Hazen or, I forget her name now. Who was the other photographer that day?
It was Detective Keppel.
Keppel? How did she pronounce it?
Keppel?
With like an O-E-P-P?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're talking about the same person. I don't have any objection.
For Jefferson Crossing, photos 20, 21, and 22 admitted as full.
Thank you, Your Honor. That contains the entirety of States 71.
Well, Madam Clerk is indicating what happened to photo 18
And 19.
and 19.
18 and 19, Your Honor, I offer that as well. 18 and 19 were the living room and I believe dining room. The state would offer that. I don't believe there was an objection to those.
No objection.
So for Jefferson Crossing, photos 18 and 19 admitted as full.
Thank you. So I'm going to draw your attention to the screen behind you. Do you recognize
some
what's
pictures
depicted on that
after all
screen?
that.
This is photograph 1.
Yes, I do.
What is that?
That is Jefferson Crossing. Number 4 is depicted on the right-hand side of the frame.
Would you mind standing up and just pointing to it, please?
And this is for Jefferson Crossing here.
You can have a seat, sir. Thank you. What is depicted in 2?
This is the front of the residence at Fort Jefferson Crossing.
Do we also see the van?
Yes, parked right out front.
Okay. And these other cars?
Those are belong to the members of the crime band.
Picture 4?
That's the front door of the residence.
I could be wrong, but I think this is where they found the alibi script.
Picture 6?
That is one side of the residence.
And picture 7?
The back of the residence.
On that day, sir, did you go search the outside of the property as well, or I should say the lawn area?
Yes, I walked the lawn around the house.
And who was with you that day for the search of Fort Jefferson Crossing?
It was Detective Duva, Detective Hazen, Detective Keppel, Detective Pearston, and Detective McGavin.
And 10, sir, if you could just describe what is depicted in 10.
That's at a portico or drive-through between the two garages.
Now, I know there was some questions about this, if you can, which side, and I am going to ask if you can go to the screen behind you, sir.
Sure.
Which side is closest to the house?
So this is the back of the residence, so this side would be towards the house, the kitchen, the bedrooms, things like that. I'm calling this over here the office side.
Okay, and when you say the back of the residence, is the street through there?
Yes,
Through
you
the-
can see Jefferson Crossing is the street right there, at the end of the driveway.
And this door, sir, picture 11, which side of the, I guess, cut through is that on? The one close to the house or the office?
The office, it'll be on this side.
This garage picture 12, please.
This is the garage is on the house side of that drive-through.
And 13.
That's the garage on the office side of the drive-through.
Now, in the garage, did you seize anything for evidentiary value?
No.
14.
That is the garage on the house side of that drive-through.
And 15.
That's the garage on the office side.
Did you seize anything of evidentiary value from those two garages?
No, ma'am.
You can have a seat, sir.
Oh, they just clicked
can,
real quick.
just describe
They
what is
just
depicted
did you
in
see that? They
16.
just showed it. They're going to show it again, I'm sure.
So this is the mudroom.
They just showed the script.
On the first floor. The door to the backyard will be on the left-hand side of the frame. And this is taken from the doorway towards the kitchen.
Did you conduct a search of the mudroom, sir?
Yes, I did.
Did you personally conduct a search, or did anybody else search that area depicted in that photograph?
I personally conducted this search.
When you conduct a search of an area like the mudroom, what areas did you search?
Everything. So I'll start on in one corner and just systematically work through all cabinets, shelves, items found on the floor until I reach the corner again to ensure that I've checked everything.
Were you wearing any protective gear while you were doing this?
I was wearing gloves.
In that search, did you search any of the bags?
Yes.
I'm going to draw your attention to the, middle of that photograph. Do you see that black bag on the photograph?
Yes,
Did you search that bag?
I did.
Where was it when you searched it? Or I should withdraw that. Where did you first see it?
So I initially found it underneath the bench. It was upright, leaning against the side of one of those cubbies.
On the top or the bottom?
Oh, I'm sorry, on the bottom. So it was resting on the floor.
Did you go through that bag?
Yes, I did.
No,
Sir,
go
what is
back.
depicted in 16A?
That is an item that I found within that black bag. It was a portable hard drive.
Oh,
And
portable hard
Did you
drive.
find anything else inside that bag?
I did.
What did you find?
I found 3 photocopy pages of a handwritten note.
States 16B.
There it is.
Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
Those are those 3 photocopy pages of a handwritten note that I found in the black bag.
Yeah, let them go to lunch on this. Let this be
With
the...
respect to this bag, sir,
Oh, zoom in.
where inside the bag did you find those pages?
Within the main compartment of the... it appeared to me to be like a computer bag.
Were there any other papers contained in that bag?
No.
What was the state they were in when they were inside the bag when you first saw them?
They were just as they appeared on the floor. They were flat.
They weren't folded or anything like that?
No.
Were they stapled or taped together?
No.
Or were they next to each other?
No. They were stacked on top of each other.
Did you make a decision to seize those as evidence that day?
I did.
Did you give it an evidence number?
I did, 158.
And when you seize something for evidence, sir, what's your process of doing that?
So I will, once a decision has been made to seize it, I'll give it an evidence number, mark it appropriately, like either with these yellow plastic placards or with those adhesive evidence rulers. I'll notify both photographers, both the backup and the primary. They will come photograph the item. And then once it's been photographed and it's been documented in notes, I will package it appropriately, seal it, and label it.
Why did you seize this item?
I'm going to object.
Well, the obvious answer is it was of some evidentiary value. So the court will allow the question.
Why did you seize that item, sir?
Because it was labeled on top.
I'm going to object to him characterizing. I thought he was going to answer as Your Honor suggested.
What the court wants to try to avoid at this point is a description of the content of the documents.
That's fine, Your Honor. I could withdraw that if I may just approach.
Jabroni, just say
Thank you.
it has evidentiary value. The judge is telling you what to say. Just say it.
Your Honor, State 74, I don't believe there's an objection if I may just approach the.
Thank you.
Ooh, we're gonna get the actual.
Sir,
We're
if you
gonna
can't
get
take a
the
look, what is
actual
that document?
paperwork here. Show them to the
Or
jury.
what is contained in State 74?
I like this. So this way they could be on lunch where they can't talk. Except if I would be on the jury, I'd be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" With the note. Now, what are we getting for lunch?
This is the evidence envelope I used to package the 3 photocopies.
Your Honor, at this time, the state's intention is to ask the court to allow to open and publish using Elmo, reading it to the jury. Perhaps we should do that after lunch.
Well, they have to be offered, correct?
There's no objection.
There is no objection.
No objection to the admission.
Thank you. Do you wish to do that now?
It's going to take a while.
Well, better to start at 2 o'clock.
Thank you. Can I have that back, sir?
Oh, MJ, you're not gonna miss anything, MJ.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our lunch and recess. We plan to resume at 2 o'clock. Please do not discuss the case. Have a good lunch.
I bet you they don't even end early today because of this jabronius. Oh, Bonnie Bailey coming in hot right before lunch. Thank you so much, Bonnie.
This honorable Superior Court now standing in recess.
Thanks, Bonnie. I think I told you, but your stickers went out in the mail.
Would counsel approach, please?
Guys, real quick. There's going to be a new stream, and this will portal you there. But before I do, I just put a couple of stickers on our merch store. I wanted to show you real quick before we go to lunch. This will portal us to a new stream at 2 o'clock. 1 second. If this will work. Whoops. Nope. That's not what I want. Let's go alphabetically. Let's go new to old. So I got the JBN on there. And I got this one. It's a JBN snail. You know what I'm saying? JBN snail. And made it a little different. And then just a regular JBN one. Any hoozle, links in the chat. Thank you all so much. We will be back at 2 o'clock, which is in 1 hour for folks who are not on Eastern Standard Time. And this will portal you to the stream at 2. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, mods, as always, for all the hard work you do. We will be back at 2 Eastern. This will portal you into the stream at 2. Get it in the algorithm, hit the likes, and we'll see you guys there then. Thank you, everyone.